Greetings, all of you lovely cheesecakes who have sadly been clearly served to a world which is lactose intolerant, and welcome back after quite a while for me to Cosmoteer with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the first video in the brand new office. So if there's a slight echo at the moment, I do apologise. The soundproofing's still going in, but now finally the move is 99% complete, and it is absolutely lovely to be trying to actually be professional for once in my own little working space. Well, today in the game itself, what you're here to watch, we're going to be making a brand new vessel, not another Corn's Forge or something which just stands by the sidelines or a mining vessel, though I will build that eventually. Today, we're building a missile craft. Now, this craft is going to assist the Malal's Wrath in combat. I also want it to be decently small because I like the idea of having multiple of them. So, the main thing I really want is EMP missiles. We've seen in the previous video, EMP missiles are absolutely ridiculously good. It simply turns shields off instantly, weapons get completely de-energized, and we cause a massive collision here in space. But they're really useful. The Malal's Wrath is having a major problem with enemies which use too many shields or are just too fast, trying to pin them down. I think the missiles will more than make up for that. It also gives me a chance to build my first ever diagonal craft, which will probably go interestingly to say the least. Now, when it comes to the EMP missiles, if we go over to here, we can either purchase them as parts, here they are, the EMP missile parts, but they're normally in very, very low stock, or we can make them ourselves. Now, thankfully, they're not too difficult to make. If I'm correct, do I already have them? I don't know. There we go, the EMP missiles. I believe all we need is iron and copper to make them, and of course, that's why we have the Corn's Forge, able to make all of our missile parts. Really should have it on the craft itself, but again, I love the idea of the forge making the weapons for us, so we're going to stick with that for now, even if it's not necessarily the best. Yep, iron and copper. So it's not too expensive at all, I think. Yeah, this is why we need a mining vessel eventually, but this will be fine. Okay, we have 1,000,000 credits currently to spend, so let's just get to work building our craft straight away. So, new ship, build, let's just say, nearby. And how do I do this? Do I just literally go, whee? I believe so. Okay. Yeah, see? We're all diagonal-like. So how are we going to do this? So with missiles, then, we're probably going to want, like, a branching sort of thing like this. How do the doors connect to these? Let's have a quick check. Okay, so none of those connecting. Oh, only the side there. You can clearly see where the gaps are. Okay, so this won't work. Let's have a quick few tests. And of course, we can always change this later on to nukes, or to high explosive, or a mix of the two. More likely the mix of the two will be the better, but for now I just want to focus purely on EMP, see how they do, and then upgrade from there. So I do want this thing decently small, and the concept is it's not going to really be in combat. If this thing gets caught up with a mistake has been made, it's going to go down. I don't think it's worth building too much into it. Now, I do want it to have a similar vibe as the Malal's Wrath to at least fit in. So it could go with the spikes again like this, but I'm not too sure just yet. Well, it's going to be weird with this as well. I was thinking about adding the moving walkways, but I think that'd end up as a weird roundabout. Would that work? I don't know. Of course, I don't really know much, so that's not really a shock. I mean, this thing is absolutely teeny tiny. It is literally just there to unleash a little bit of missile hell. That's all I want right now, because again, this is more of a test ship than anything else. I want to make sure I understand how missiles work more than anything else. I really like how it moves. It's very jittery. It's a little bit too much caffeine. Also similar to me. Okay, so just need a little bit of armor here on the front, then on to build out, I guess. Actually, could build out like this, make it look more like a weird fork. Or a sword. Could make it into a sword. Hey everyone, Future Lathrix here, as is tradition with this series, and of course, we all knew it was going to happen eventually. Today is all about missiles. And it turns out, although I didn't think I would like missiles in the first place with how this game uses them, I was completely wrong. Missiles in this game are incredibly fun, if very expensive to completely run. This episode was incredibly fun to record, and missiles are going to continue to be a part of our lives moving forward after this one. I also want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been patient for the last few weeks. I have been moving house, and the move is now 99% complete. I'm now in my own home office. Things are all looking good. I just need a bit of soundproofing and everything else, and then we are absolutely golden. So expect videos to be back on their normal schedule over the next few weeks, probably after this video, to be completely honest. So thank you for your patience, and thank you to everyone who's been liking and commenting on these videos. It helps out so much for the channel, and really, with everything being so turbulent at the moment, that has been really heartwarming. So thank you to everyone. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and that was a really long ramble. Back to the past, your present. Now to Space Invader. Better. You know, I can already see that's not gonna work. Just looking at it, I can tell that's gonna clip. That's gonna be okay. That's gonna probably be okay. I just need to see them in action first before I concrete do anything else. Transferring ammo over to the Malal's Wrath, then we're going to go and quickly do a mission. Oh, not before though, as a lot of you mentioned. There was actually a mission I'd already completed. Ta-da! Lovely. If we were naming things based on what they look like, it would be very easy to make this look like a very ugly tick. Some kind of parasite is following along. As it is, I have no idea what I'm going to call you guys. Little jittery speed bugs. Okay, let's get into a fight. Let's see how they actually function, paying attention to them closely, and then we'll see how that goes. This is actually significantly faster than the Malal's Wrath. At the moment, it can go something like 100, so at least it can always keep up. Being able to strafe might be better as well, now think about it. How do you make it strafe if you're doing a diagonal design? I guess I'll just not have it strafe. Because learning is difficult. I do kind of love the fact, it just kind of looks like a fly chasing us. It really does as well. Okay, I'm going to lean into that. Glory to the swarm. Okay, getting a little bit ambushed here, so this won't be perfect, but let's see what we can do. Okay, as soon as we can see them. So this is the Raptor. Obviously, we want to go after that. Missiles away. Actually, want to stay a bit further away this time, honestly. And, yep, just try and go for the core. Our usual tactic of just brute force with those cannons. It's a shame these first cannons aren't going to hit... are going to hit a little bit before the missiles. But then, oh, look at that, you can actually see it move to everything else. Did that just completely take off the generator on one missile? Yes, it did. Well, that's pretty impressive, jumping to absolutely everything else. Oh no, yep, it turned off the small shield generators as well. EMP missiles are very, very powerful, good to know. So these next shots then are all going to be able to just crush through. Since now there's nothing stopping them. I love the animation of the EMP actually jumping to the different things affected. Yeah, so right now, okay, now this is where we really need to start using hotkeys, otherwise I'm not going to be able to just jump to things easily. I mean, what happens, let's say you hit the armor here. Does it have the ability to jump, for instance, to the control room? Don't think I'm going to find out in this particular fight, though. These cannon shots are likely going to finish this off in just a moment. Especially if you get one lucky shot. Come on, like right there. There we go. A little bit of damage to the wing, nothing major. Takes a long time to reload, but we have seen that from the enemies, so I'm not exactly shocked by that. Oh, yeah, it takes lots of parts for a single missile to be loaded. Well, on the upside, I don't think we need any more EMP than just the one little craft. As long as the enemy aren't shooting it down too much, and as long as we're going for the brute force strategy, so we only have to focus on a small area. Okay, what I'm going to do is make a second fly, and that is going to be high explosive, and then we're going to use them both at the same time. Oh, I should really repair next to the corpse and leave a marker. So, the idea I have right now is this. So we have our lovely EMP bug over here. Something like that. Then, we will have a high explosive bug over here. Both with mirrored paint schemes, both the paint schemes of the Wrath. I also have to save this formation so I can just go back into it nice and easily. But I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. So the high explosive will be able to do some damage to vulnerable systems like thrusters nice and easily, whereas the EMP will first of all focus on the enemy shields and then move on to the any system still operational after the cannon fire hits, I suppose. And once again, I've just quickly added some factories to the forge, so now we can make high explosive missiles as well. Obviously, flies need eyes. This is basically just an extension of Malal's Wrath. Oh, it caught its first ship. Well done. Okay, we have a friend. And by the fact it's not moving all that much, I'm assuming that that is the very annoying railgun enemy. And why we really should get some better sensors. Actually, you know what? I probably want these things to stay like that. Yeah. With how their thrusters are set up, that's probably the best way to do that. Okay, yeah, they're both going their own ways. Oh, I forgot to change your weapons to only fire when targeting. Thrusters, please, and same with you. Just knock out those thrusters would be glorious. Be a really, really good start. Okay, the two swarmers are going in. Point defense actually doing a decent job there on my end, which is good. And there goes their thrusters straight away. Beautiful. Well, there goes my front. Yep. Actually, with their thrusters off, maybe I should just try and zoom ahead. You know what? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Keep firing as you go, but try and just move along. Hopefully the high explosive, they have done their job. There goes the enemy thruster. Okay, with that gone, what do I want to target? Honestly, no idea. Just their missiles, I guess? That's just a hyperdrive, isn't it? Yeah, just go at it, I guess. You keep on trying to keep that off, if possible. With the enemy dead in the water, they'll probably get one more shot. Or maybe not. Now this is where I do not feel too comfortable, but it's weird. They're being so close and so safe. Just go after that generator and it's dead. In comparison to the previous attempt at this fight, that was so much easier. And yeah, the enemy's down as soon as we start firing cannons. Perfect. Not saying I played perfectly, but I think it showcased why the missiles are going to be very fun with this craft. So the real question is, how am I going to have this third craft and missile craft? We can either have a swarm of these flies, we can easily make a couple more, and just have them following along with the Malal's Wrath, or whatever the Malal's Wrath evolves into, or we could turn it into a proper third craft. And as much as the swarm seems fun to me, I think a proper third craft would be a lot better. We could shield it better, armor it better, and do a lot more with it. Though, I know they're just very simple looking, but I kind of love how these things look. They look horrible, like they're gonna be really annoying. And they are, and that amuses me. Gonna have one more fight with them and then make my choice. Do I build one big diagonal craft, or keep a swarm of bees? Flies. Flies sounds far less menacing. So it's either the Hereafter or another one of the railguns. So the Hereafter is a broadsider. Okay, that speed's definitely the Hereafter. So, from what I remember, honestly, the Hereafter just tries to get really close to us anyway. So I think just keeping us in this position is probably the best. There they are. Let's just familiarize myself with this. So the front, loads of point defense, shields. That's our target. So I think it tries the broadside anyway. So, yeah. Just try and stay far away. Don't really move much, honestly. You, on the other hand, I do want to move out. just want you to get past the enemy so you can continually attack all of these lovely, lovely missiles. See if you can take out any of them. And you go straight for the generator. Honestly, don't move forward. Stay still for now. Perfect. EMP direct hits there where I wanted it. Look at that. Instantly crushing damage because of those EMP missiles. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. EMP missiles are the best thing in this game. There's the rest of them missed. How much damage? Ow, ow. Did those do? Oh, it did take out some missiles. It is making these fights a lot easier. Ion beams at the front, but actually quite vulnerable. Split this thing in half. Try and take out that. Don't really care about where you are, honestly, too much. See if you can get some of these thrusters offline. Yeah, once again, need to save these as defaults. Wow, that's getting so close to us. I honestly did not expect that. I know the range of the ion beams have been nerfed recently, but I still thought this thing would try and stay much further away. Could have just bumped it out of the way then, didn't we? Oh, and we are done. So I do want to address something quickly. The reason why we always get so close to the enemy is because of how our turning works. The problem is we have far more forwards turning than backwards turning, so anytime we try to turn, we end up getting closer to the enemy, which means we ram them, which honestly normally isn't so much of a bad thing with this craft. It's quite good to pin them with these mandibles and just core through the enemy. It's kind of the whole tactic of such a basic weaponed kind of ship. It's good at just doing bulk damage, but not much else. But now we're working with missiles and everything else, it's going to become increasingly more of a problem. So I think a redesign of the thrusters is going to be necessary, eventually. For now, let's just get back, and I do think that maybe one large craft will probably work better. As much as I do love the flyers. Let's try and stick with the bug style anyway, if we can. How many legs do flies have? Considering how many I feed to my toads, I am shocked I don't know that off the top of my head. Well, they have 6 legs, but this one could be a very interesting one with only 4. Oh, or of course I could have some armoured legs here at the front. So I'm thinking is, EMP at the front, for the initial hit. High explosive at the back. Basically the result of a really bad night out, but this time with more literal explosions. And then somewhere we'll have to hide a Nurgle symbol. Glory to the pestilent father. I mean, it didn't turn out like a bug at all, but I like how it looks. Pretty simple, almost bird-like, honestly. Very, very quick. The problem is not fast enough backwards. Lots of EMP at the front, lots of high explosive at the back. Once again, this is never meant to be on its own, always meant to be much further back than one of the Malal's Wraths. Now, this station keeps on getting pushed around by all the traders. I've had to slowly move it back into position using the tractor beams. It's been a very annoying, like, half an hour. Lots of friends. Now, to take out this base, all we need to do is, I know this may be a surprise, take out the base. But I don't want to be flanked by all the other enemies first. Okay, let's see what we've got here for our first defender. Ooh, this is a new one. So, I mean, that reactor there would take up pretty much all of its weapons. If I could do that, that would be glorious. Oh, look at that beautiful sight. So the EMP should hit first. It's going to hit in multiple waves. There we go, look at that. All of that. Wow. Just so much initial firepower hitting the enemy there. I do feel like, similar to From the Depths, the initial alpha strike is so important. Even in longer fights. Is that me or the enemy I'm currently wading through? No, it's the enemy I'm wading through. Good. Okay, at this point, let's stop firing. Just need to take out that little control room there. Oh, the Malal's Wrath shields are finally struggling, but the enemy doesn't really have anything to capitalize on. Perfect. So I've decided after that last little fight there, I am going to go with multiple of rather than a single. We're going to have multiple of this version though, so kind of a midpoint there. Will I ever have a much larger, proper missile cruiser? Probably, but I'm definitely going to have a much larger laser weapon and everything else before that. And I just love the idea of this Alpha Strike, a couple of these, one goes to the left, one goes to the right, kind of like Odin's Ravens, if Odin's Ravens were horribly explosive. The second Raven is now up and running. Just needs a bit of a paint scheme change. Actually, even does it. Ooh, look at those two menacing little birdies. I am super happy with this. Now, the next time we build a craft, honestly, it is going to be a much larger craft, and that's kind of what's made me decide on this instead. Because look at the resources we have, they're kind of ridiculous. We're already in a high level area. I think in the next video we're going to jump into a much higher level area than this. And either I'm going to have to transform the Malal's Wrath into something that can deal with that, or we're going to have to scrap the Wrath and make something far bigger and far scarier. We actually have, for once, a surplus of people. Oh, I see. The one problem we have currently is we're not fully operating the sensor array. Oh, I can see why as well. Okay, I saw that on the radar. That looks really weird. Okay, so there's a pirate hunter attacking the pirate station. Honestly, then, I don't really want the birds with us right now. Does the station have any defense? Okay, yeah, it has like actually a series of missiles. It did defeat the hunter by itself. So change your plan slightly. Point defense there. If we destroy that, that's going to be pretty much all these missiles gone. There are some on the other side as well. If I target there, I'm probably just going to hit all this front wall. But you know what? I don't mind that. Stay quite far away for now, though. Just stay at the back. Oh, look at that. There's so many at once. Just point defense there from that small station. That's why I'm completely ignoring it. One good hit there, and that's all gone. Then move on to the next control station. There's one there by the looks of things. Looking for the blue. Control room there, and a cockpit there. Okay, stop firing. Well, that's actually a very boring fight. Need to fight something else then with the birds. So this last fight is going to be against one of the snipers we've fought multiple times now, and I'm going to do something a little bit cheeky. So you two, move over there by yourself, Malal's Wrath, enter the enemy territory. What I'm going to do is get the attention of the enemy, and then either from the side or behind, fire every single missile I have all at once at the enemy's control station, which is decently vulnerable. At very least, we should be able to take it offline momentarily. At most, the damage from all of our shots might be able to actually just destroy it outright. I've already gave the order to shoot since the enemy had started to turn around. Maybe it was a little bit premature, but here come all of those lovely EMP missiles. Will they hit the target? Yes, they will. Look at that, straight away turning it off. The high explosive should very soon follow. Hopefully that'll be enough to do significant damage. At very least, looks like the thrusters are critically damaged. Perfect. Absolute minimal damage taken. I think this is more what we can do by having so many small ships. We can easily flank enemies. And by doing that, we can do devastating damage. I do think the Ravens are actually going to be a big part of our future. Eventually they'll get bigger as well, just like the Malal's Wrath needs to be. But I am really happy with how these things have turned out. They're fast, easy to control, and have an alpha strike which makes me smile. Well, I'm going to be leaving the episode here, and in the next video we're going to be moving on to a more difficult area. Currently we are in difficulty 10 to 12, so the next one will be the 11 to 13, or the 14 to 16. Now, there is the monolith cooperative areas here, but I'm probably going to mostly ignore those because we hate them apparently. So going over there to the Cabal of Sol, which is interesting. I really need to read the lore about all these things. Why is Sol so interesting? It's so very weird. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Cosmoteer is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Episodes will now be a lot more frequent after this one eventually goes out, and things like Terratech and Stellaris will be returning to the channel over the next few weeks before the Christmas holidays, because now, once again, I'm actually in my own office, and it is absolutely wonderful. First video recorded here. Already very, very happy. So, thank you for watching, have a lovely day, and do take care. And until next time, goodbye. So this is all just a reminder that I do actually still exist.